Hello everyone and welcome to the Deercast. So the trend in rifle scopes seems to be bigger is better at the moment, both in terms of objective lens size but also magnification range. So tonight we thought we'd try the ultimate experiment, so comparing two different rifle scopes from the same make and manufacturer together with different objective lens sizes to see if there's any difference, particularly at last light. So many of you already know I own a Leica Fortis 6 1.8 to 12 by 42. Leica have very kindly sent us I have to check what it is, 2.5 to 15 by 56 Fortis 6, so exactly the same make, exactly the same model, but one's got a 42mm objective lens and one's got a 56mm objective lens. Now I'm slightly or not impartial because I own this scope, so if I were going to be comparing these at last light, you'd probably all think my gut reaction is going to be to go for the 42i. I'm going to be biased towards this because it's my own scope, so I thought probably ought to get some independent views and advice on this. Someone's come and test these with me at last light tonight. Now I'm a bit stuck at the moment because Harry's away on holiday, so I've drafted in some additional support in the form of Kieran.
Hello.
Introducing you all to Kieran, a good friend of ours, fellow deer stalker. He's going to be the one helping me tonight test these two scopes. So stay tuned and we'll come back at last light with our thoughts and opinions. So hello everyone, welcome back. You'll have to excuse the image quality. We're standing with the car headlights and light beam trying to illuminate us. It's currently 10 o'clock at night, end of July, so it is very much last light. We've just been comparing the 56mm Fortis 6 scope and the 42mm objective lens Fortis 6 scope. And I think both have some thoughts on the comparison of the two. Do you want to go first, Kieran?
Yeah, so I think there's absolutely no difference in size of the objective lens to how much it gathers light practically looking into a field. I think the biggest advantage gained from any sort of last light shooting is from the illuminator reticle, which both have. So between the two, there's no difference. So
I was quite surprised. We were just stood up on a bank looking out at a telegraph pole and literally were swapping between the two in terms of the 42 and the 56. And I mean, I think we both said if there was a difference between the two, it's marginal, didn't we? In terms of that light gathering and what your eye can actually see and what you notice. Which is a big, I think quite a big sort of revelation, because as we said sort of in the opening, we're all being persuaded to go for 50 or 56mm objective lens scopes because we're told it'll be a light gathering monster and it'll just suck in light and you'll be able to see everything at last light. But as we've just shown with the 42mm, we were seeing just as much as we were with the 56. Like if a deer had wandered out, we'd have taken the shot with the 42 or the 56. No,
yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Hello everyone and welcome back. It is the morning after the night before where we did our test, looking at whether we could see any discernible difference between a 56mm objective lens scope and a 42mm objective lens scope. Today, well, in the next part of this video, I really wanted to talk you through what we did look at, what we didn't look at, some potential caveats and also some thoughts for you to take away. So how we did the test was we set up both scopes to the same parallax, so fixed 100 meters. We set up both of them to 6-power magnification, and we changed both of the focuses on the eyepieces to exactly the same. We then held them up using quad sticks and were able to compare the two, looking at an electricity pylon that was about 100 meters away that had a couple of signs on it, so we had some writing to be able to compare the two. But then also there was a woodland in the background that we're able to look at sort of real life features, if that makes sense. So, and then between the two of us, we literally just kept swapping between the two to see if we could see any discernible difference. What you've seen from the video is that we didn't really see any discernible differences. Now, there are a couple of potential caveats to that. The first one being that obviously the 56mm objective lens scope not only has a bigger objective lens, it's about 100 grams heavier, but otherwise is absolutely identical to the 42mm objective lens scope. They're both the 46 range from Leica, so they sit in exactly the same quality, price tag, etc. But what the 56mm may have had an advantage over, which we didn't look at in the video, was whether the brightness was better, or the light gathering, whatever you want to call it, was better with this scope as the magnification range had been increased. So whether if we'd adjusted these to say 8 or 10 power, whether we would have then seen much of a difference between the 56 and the 42. The reason we didn't do that last night was that when we set both of them to 6 and could pretty well see no difference, we just didn't think it was worth adjusting it much further. And I think the difference you may or may not have seen would probably have been negligible. Another potential caveat is that these are both very sort of top quality scopes from Leica, who is a sort of high-end optics manufacturer. And say we'd compared scopes from say a cheaper alternative, we may have seen a difference because the quality of the glass and the technology inside it may not have been so good. And also, with Leica being a sort of high-end optics manufacturer, is that we're comparing two scopes of exactly the same quality. So if we'd compared that same 42mm objective lens from Leica to say a cheaper alternative with a 56mm, then we may have seen either more or less difference, i.e. the worse quality of the optic, the bigger the objective lens might have to be to perform at the same level as a smaller objective lens from a better optics manufacturer. So I think from our point of view, when we were comparing model for model, like for like, at a set magnification and set range, we couldn't see much difference. As I said, if we'd adjusted the magnification on this 56mm objective lens up to say 8 or 10, we may have started to see more of a difference creeping in, but at the time we just didn't really think it was that worth looking at. The only other consideration for me when looking at something like this is the size of it. So with it being a bigger objective lens, it's going to be mounted higher off the rifle, and whether that then affords you the same cheek well is another thing to consider. And then the final one is weight. So as I said before, this is about 100 grams heavier than the 42mm objective lens. That may or may not be a consideration for you. So there we go, guys. Hopefully we've busted a potential myth for you all. You don't necessarily need to all rush out and get 56 or 60mm objective lens scopes. If you've got any comments or queries, then please drop them in the section below. You will be seeing more of this 56mm Fortis 6 scope from Leica. We've got it for a few months to have it on test. It'd be really interesting to see how it compares. So far, really impressed with it, as with all the Leica scopes actually. They're just incredibly robust, really well made. Really tactile and easy to use, and the optical quality on them is just fantastic. It really is quite something. So anyway, there you go, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.